Friends, so today we're going to discuss this problem from the latest main lead coding challenge, maximum sum circular subarray. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. The question statement states that you are given a circular array C of integers represented by A. Find the maximum possible sum of the non-empty subarray C. So what does this mean is actually, if the array is not circular, you are given a array and you have to find a continuous subarray and such that the sum of that subarray is maximum possible. In this case, as you can see, the maximum subarray is 3 and the size is 3. But because the question statement states that it is a circular subarray, it means you can go back to the start. If it is not circular, the maximum value you can get from this is you add all this 3 and the answer is 7. But because it's circular, you can take this element, go back to the start and take this element. So the answer is 10. I hope you understand. In this case, the answer maximum value is this, which is 4, and you are not wrapping around. But in this case, you are wrapping around. So there are two cases in which you can wrap around and the second one in which you cannot wrap around. In the case in which you don't wrap around, you don't need to wrap around, then you can just use the Kadeni algorithm to find out the maximum possible sum of any subarray, continuous subarray in an array. So you can pause this video and go out and check that algorithm, or if you don't and if you know that, you can keep watching and I will implement it in the code and it will be more clear to you. Okay, the other case will be when you want to wrap around. So the first thing which come to your mind is you can add the two arrays side by side, as you can see in this, and now find out the maximum subarray sum. Now as you can see, 5 and 5 come side by side, the answer will be 10. But this is not true, because if you take this and the maximum subarray sum, according to the formula, it will take the whole subarray and it will be counted twice. I hope you understand. So this is not a perfect, well treated way to find out the maximum sum in a circular array. But what you can do is you can see that if you in this array you want to find out the maximum subarray sum. Okay, but what if you just find out the minimum possible subarray sum? If you find out the minimum possible subarray sum and it's let's the answer is -3. The -3 is the minimum possible subarray sum. If you subtract this out from the total subarray, just assume we have taken out this element or this stretch of elements, then the element, as you can see, can be said to be wrapping around, and we can find out if we subtract the minimum possible subarray sum from the total subarray sum, we will find out the maximum possible subarray sum which can be wrapped around. So the maximum value can be from these two values, in which the first case we wrap around and the second case we don't wrap around. So for finding out the minimum possible sum, what we can do is we can first find out the total value of this subarray for the total elements in the array, which is 7. Then what will we do is we will invert all the sign of this. While after inverting all the sign of it, what we can see so that this element become positive and all the element become negative. And if we now find out the maximum possible sum using the Kadeni's algorithm in this array, now the answer will be 3, which is just the same but with reverse sign, because we have inverted all the signs. So this is now the minimum possible subarray sum. If we just put a negative sign here, this is the minimum possible subarray sum, continuous subarray, which has the minimum size for this array. So if we just, the answer of this is +3, but assuming is to be -3, if we minus this with -3, because from the total sum we have to subtract this sum, the answer will be 10. But because we have the output of +3, what we can directly do is for the total sum we can just add this sum and the answer is 10. So there are two cases. The first case is just normally do the Kadeni's algorithm and find out the maximum possible subarray sum, or find out the minimum possible subarray sum using this technique, and which one is the maximum you just print out. Okay, but there is one edge case in which everything is just negative, -2, -3. Using the normal Cadence algorithm, the answer will be -1. But if we wrap around, what we will see is the the Cadence algorithm. What Cadence algorithm will do is we first, after for wrapping around, we will find out a total sum, which is -6, and we invert everything out, so it will become 1, 2, and 3, and the maximum possible sum for this is 6 also. If we add them, the answer will become 0, which means the Cadence algorithm is stating that we don't need to take any element. But the question statement states that we have to take a non-empty subarray. So it means what we can find out is that if the total value of the subarray after inverting and the total value of the subarray, if they become just opposite for a second case in which we are wrapping, not the first case. If they become same or like the sign just invert out, what we have to do is we just take out this element, because we don't want this to be in the final case, because it will give zero answer. Or else if it is they are not same, we will just take out the maximum of these two values. I hope you understand. Let's write the code and it will be more clear to you. So what we will do is we will first just do the normal Cadence algorithm, n is equal to a dot size. So we want two variables, one to store the global maximum and the other to store the local maximum. Initialize everything with the first element and then iterate over from the 1 till last. And what Cadence algorithm states that the maximum subarray sum will be the one which starts at the one element on which we are, or adding that element plus all the maximum till now. Okay, you can go and watch it out, but the thing is we can find out the maximum, which is if I take only this element, or what can I do is take this element and the maximum till now, which is maxi. Okay, now if this maxi, whenever it will become greater than our global maximum, we will update our global maximum with maxi. So this is a normal Cadence algorithm. Now we will find out the total sum before inversion, and so we invert and find out the total sum at the same time. We will iterate over our array, and what we will do is we will find our total a of I and also invert the sign. After this we will again do the same Cadence algorithm on the new array. So just copy this out. Our new global maximum will be GG max. Our new local maximum can be max double I. Iterate over all the elements. The new local maximum will be this till now. Now if this become more than our new global maximum, we update everything. Okay, now this is done. Now we just take care of the last case, in which if total for our second case is equal to negative of the global maximum, so what we will do is we will return only for the first case. Else what will we do is we will return the maximum of G max, which is the first case global maximum for the first Cadence algorithm, or total plus the second value which I have told you, the Cadence algorithm for second case and the total value. So let's run this out and check. Max. can see it's given the correct answer. Let's submit this. Okay, output is plus equal to a of I minus equal to. As you can see, it's accepted now. I hope you understand the logic very much clearly. If you still have any doubts, you can rewind this video. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.